In a world of constant noise, endless distractions, and emotional volatility, what if I told you there's an ancient philosophy that holds the key to mastering any situation you face? Silence, controlled power. Welcome to the Stoic Waya timeless approach to living that transformed emperors, slaves, and everyone in between into masters of their circumstances. I'm Stoic Sagacity, and today we're diving deep into how three Stoic principal excellence, control, and power can revolutionize how you handle life's challenges, from minor annoyances to major crises. If you've ever felt overwhelmed, reactive, or powerless in difficult situations, this video will give you practical tools that have worked for over 2,000 years. Let's begin. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Epictetus. The first pillar of Stoic mastery is silence, just the absence of noise, but the disciplined restraint of unnecessary speech. Why silence is strength? Ancient Stoics understood what modern psychology confirms. Reactive speech depletes our mental resources and often makes situations worse. When we immediately verbalize our thoughts, especially when emotional, we 1. Reveal our position before fully understanding others. 2. React from emotion rather than reason. 3. Surrender power by showing our triggers. 4. Miss crucial information others are providing. Think of Abraham Lincoln, deeply influenced by Stoic thought, who was famous for his restraint. When receiving angry letters, he would write responses and never send them. He called these his hot letters, meant only to process his emotions, not to share them. Practical applications. Let's look at 3 common scenarios where silence becomes your greatest strength. In conflicts, when someone criticizes or attacks you, your immediate response is rarely your best. The Stoic pause, a deliberate moment of silence, gives you time to process and respond rather than react. In negotiations, the person who speaks first often reveals their position and loses leverage. Comfortable silence creates pressure on others to fill the void, often with concessions. In decision-making, rushing to verbalize half-formed thoughts commits you to potentially flawed positions. Silence gives your rational mind time to catch up with your emotional reactions. Actionable tip number 1. Practice the 5-second rule. When faced with a triggering situation, count silently to 5 before responding. This tiny pause can completely transform your response. Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. Epictetus. The second pillar of Stoic mastery is control specifically, the crystal clear distinction between what you can and cannot influence. The dichotomy of control. The foundational Stoic practice is dividing everything into 2 categories. 1. Things within your control. Your judgments, your values, your actions. 2. Things outside your control. Other people's actions, external events, outcomes. When you focus exclusively on what you control, you immediately reclaim your power. Consider this. The person raging at traffic and the person using that same time to listen to an audiobook are in identical external circumstances. The difference is entirely in where they place their focus. Practical applications. In professional settings, you cannot control if you get the promotion, but you can control your preparation, performance, and professional development. In relationships, you cannot control how someone feels about you, but you can control how you treat them and the values you bring to the relationship. In personal development, you cannot control your natural talents, but you can control your efforts to develop skills and knowledge. Actionable tip number 2, the Stoic reflection. Each morning, take 60 seconds to identify the 3 things you control today and consciously release attachment to outcomes beyond your influence. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. The third pillar of Stoic mastery is power, not dominance over others, but the unshakable inner strength that comes from aligning with reality and living by principle. Internal versus external power. Most people seek external forms of power control over others, material wealth, sand, social status. These are inherently unstable. Stoic power is internal. External power depends on circumstances. Internal power remains regardless of circumstances. External power diminishes when shared. Internal power grows when practiced and taught. External power creates anxiety, fear of loss. Internal power creates tranquility. Practical applications. In adversity, true power isn't avoiding hardship, but maintaining your principles during it. This is why Viktor Frankl, influenced by Stoic philosophy, could find meaning even in a concentration camp. In success, power isn't just how you handle failure, but how you handle victory. Can you succeed without becoming attached to success? In daily life, power manifests in consistency between your values and actions, regardless of whether anyone is watching. Actionable tip number 3. The voluntary discomfort practice. Once weekly, deliberately deny yourself something comfortable, a hot shower, your favorite food, social media, to strengthen your independence from external conditions. The true mastery comes not from practicing these principles in isolation, but in their integration. Silence gives you the space to identify what you control. Control focus gives you the power to influence what matters. Internal power gives you the strength to maintain silence under pressure. Consider how these work together in a challenging workplace conversation. 1. You receive critical feedback that feels unfair. 2. Silence gives you space to process without escalating. 3. Control recognition helps you focus on your response, not their perception. 4. Internal power allows you to maintain principles regardless of the outcome. The Stoic response framework. When facing any challenging situation, apply this 3-step process. 1. Pause. Silence. Create space between stimulus and response. 2. Distinguish. Control. Identify what aspects you can and cannot influence. 3. Act on principle, power. Take action based on your values, not on expected outcomes. Actionable tip number 4. The Stoic Journal. Each evening, record one situation where you successfully applied this 3-step process and one where you could improve tomorrow. The Stoic approach to mastery isn't about suppressing emotions or becoming cold. It's about responding to life's challenges with wisdom rather than reactivity. Silence gives you space. Control focus gives you clarity. Internal power gives you strength. Together, they form the foundation of a life where you can face any situation not with anxiety or frustration, but with the calm confidence that comes from knowing exactly how to respond. If you found value in these ancient yet timeless principles, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more practical wisdom. Share in the comments one situation where you'll apply these principles this week. Remember, as Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you respond to it that matters. Until next time, practice silence, focus on what you control, and discover your true power.